Warning: this video contains content that may disturb you and challenge your perception of reality. Ensure you're in a safe space before you continue. Hello, and welcome to Horror Flix. I'm Charlie, and tonight, I bring you something that truly shook me. These clips didn't just scare me, they stayed with me. I couldn't sleep after watching them. And now, I want you to feel exactly what I felt. Now, what you're about to watch isn't a Hollywood movie. It's real.
In 1986, 3 teenage boys were throwing chunks of concrete off a highway bridge. One of those chunks smashed through the windshield of a car carrying a college student and her friend. The boys rushed down to the scene and found the girls miraculously unharmed. Pretending to help, they offered to drive them to a nearby payphone. But their true intentions were far more sinister. While they did take the girls to a phone, they never brought them back to their car like they had promised. Instead, 2 of the boys drove them to a remote field while the third left the scene. There, the remaining 2 subjected the girls to hours of unthinkable torture and assault. At one point, one of the attackers carelessly said the other's name in front of the victims. That slip-up sealed their fate. Knowing the girls could now identify them, the boys made a brutal decision and ended their lives. 21-year-old Wendy Afredo and 20-year-old Dawn McCreary tragically lost their lives that night. Thankfully, all 3 boys were caught shortly after. Richard Cooey was sentenced to death. However, Clinton Dickens received only a life sentence, as he was still 6 months away from being considered a legal adult. The third man, Kenneth Horonetz Jr., was released on parole after just 1 year, because he had left the scene early. Despite later arguing that his obesity made execution inhumane, Richard Cooey was executed by lethal injection in 2008.
It's almost too cruel to believe. Still, the silence of that night screams louder than ever.
Have you guys seen this? So this video was uploaded to YouTube about 11 years ago by a channel named Chibonk182. Now, obviously this video is super disturbing in many ways, with very little description applied to this video. Really, the only description online that I can find to this is a woman asking for water. Apparently, there are many different origins as to how this could have happened, but I'm going to show you what this reminds me of in relation to the Philippines legend of the Penanggalan. Check it out.
Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with what a Penanggalan is, strap in, because it's pretty creepy. So, maybe don't watch this at night. Anyway, so the story of the Penanggalan originates from Asia, where there has been countless sightings dating back to the 11th century. They are female vampiric entities that remove their heads from their bodies with their organs still attached. Okay, maybe a little trigger warning. Once detached from their bodies, these floating vampire heads are free to hunt for their favorite meal, preferably anything to do with babies. They have been known to hunt babies, young children, pregnant women, the list goes on. You'll know when a Penanggalan is nearby because of their intense odor of vinegar. And the reason they smell like vinegar is because they bathe their organs in vinegar so that they can shrink themselves down enough to reattach themselves to their bodies.
Major shout out to Max Powers for sending me this, because I completely forgot this video existed and I am deeply disturbed right now. If you can help to translate in the comments, that would be great, but otherwise, what do you think?
Mulai kan sudah mulai ditangkap sudah. Menaik kalap itu. Oh, no, dari kemudian no, pas oleh nabi no, mulai ada kamu boleh. Bumingau dulu mut pas oleh oh. Itu aja oh. Ituan kilo nak kamu boleh no. Oh, ano? Oh, lain di mana?
Maybe it's not about where she came from. Maybe it's about who's next.
I don't know if anybody can see this or not, but I just reported it. That's a car in the river. That is an SUV. Look at this. Completely fully submerged. It honestly looks like a Kia Soul. Can you guys see that?
Dad, pay attention.
Oh shit. Alright, I'm on it. We found a car in the river. Mr. James is going to go on down and investigate it. See what we come up with. Here we go. Here it comes now. A white Kia Soul.
Don't forget to follow me for your dose of nightmare fuel.
We don't know who was inside. We don't know how long it's been there. But one thing's certain. Whatever happened, the river remembers. Three different places, three different horrors, but one thing in common. Something was watching. And now, so are we. Let's roll the original ad, and you decide if your eyes deceive you.
Upon spotting what they believe is a ghost hidden in this advertisement. Now thankfully, I was able to find a better quality video of this commercial. I'll play the entire ad before showing where the supposed ghost is hidden. That being said, see if you can spot the apparition in this ad. On the window, a faint reflection of what appears to be a grim-looking face can be seen midway through the commercial. It appears for only a few seconds before the scene changes and the face is no longer seen. Now the face doesn't appear to have the same features as the woman sitting on the couch, which has led viewers like Melanie to believe that a ghost was caught on camera. If no one else had been around, then whose face was this? Perhaps this might have been a cameraman who accidentally recorded their own reflection. Whether ghost or not, one thing's for sure. The appearance of whatever this is pretty unsettling. But as always, what do you think? The following photo was submitted by Tona Putra, who writes, "There was a family in Indonesia who went to a cemetery to commemorate members of their family who have died. The family was at the cemetery for almost the entire day. During the evening time, before leaving the cemetery, they were taking a lot of photos. Most of them were just random, but when they got home, they noticed that one photo had caught something in it that was strange. The following is the picture the family had taken. According to Tono, the family had no clue as to who this person was. They were the only ones there and were sure that whoever or whatever this was not one of them. Now because this photo was taken at a cemetery, Tono believes that an entity was caught in the photograph. The family also thinks that something supernatural was caught in the photo. They believe that this may have been the ghost of a child whose own gravesite is at the cemetery. Although it's not clear as to who, or maybe even what this might have been, the picture has left them spooked. If the family had been the only ones there, then who was this? On August 6th of 2016, a small channel had posted a video of two security guards who appear to be inside a school. The footage seems to have come from Argentina, given the language that is spoken by both men in the video. They seem to be the only ones inside the school. However, in the video, one security guard tells the other that he can hear noises coming from down the hall. Although one of them is hesitant at first, they proceed to check out the noise. What happens then has left them spooked. This is what they caught.
Sí, boludo, hace un refrío. Pero acá parece que hace más frío, porque dice cuando hace frío que es por algo, digamos. ¿Dónde escuchas, boludo? Acá hay ruido en toda la escuela. Pero sí, boludo, ¿no escuchaste? ¿Ves escuchar? ¿Escuchás, boludo? ¿No escuchás? Nada, boludo. A ver, hay como una cortina ahí. Sí. ¿Dónde escuchaste, boludo? Sí, boludo, para mí que por allá, o ahí, no sé. Por acá era. No, boludo, ¿viste eso?
After panning the camera towards an empty classroom, we can see a chair that is strangely placed near the doorway. It isn't until seconds later that the chair moves on its own, causing both men to flee as far away from the site. The video's description claims that both men had encountered something paranormal, which appears to be the case. Although most viewers believe that something paranormal had occurred, a few believe that this might have been done with practical effects. Some believe that a string was used to pull this off. Now, because the guard didn't go inside the class to show that no one was hiding inside, it's hard to be sure if it's real or not. I'll leave it to you to decide as to whether or not something paranormal had occurred. Had both guards encountered something beyond explanation, or was this something else?
Ghosts don't knock, they wait, and they watch. Okay, let me show you the original story that chilled even seasoned investigators.
In 2002, 59-year-old Bruce Roberts shot and killed a man who had broken into his home. But instead of calling the police, he did nothing. No panic, no confession, just silence. He dragged the lifeless body into a spare room, locked the door, and carried on with his life as if nothing had happened. For the next 15 years, Bruce lived with the mummified corpse of the man he had killed just meters away. He never moved the body, never told a soul, just kept the door shut and sprayed air fresheners to cover the stench of death. Neighbors barely noticed him. They described Bruce as strange, reclusive, a ghost who lived among the living. His blinds were always closed, his mail piled up, no visitors came or went. Then, in 2017, Bruce died of natural causes. When authorities finally entered his rundown home, they found a shocking scene. Piles of hoarded junk, rotting food, decay everywhere. And in the back room, the dead body. Perfectly preserved by time, dust, and denial. Still lying where it had fallen and still locked in the same room. Bruce was never caught, never charged. He spent the rest of his life living quietly beside the dead.
No screams, no guilt, just silence, and the smell of death seeping through the walls.
Do you ever feel violent?
Yes, I do.
What do you feel like doing?
Killing people.
You still feel like people?
Yes.
Describe the feeling that you get when you feel like
Well, last March 11th, I was hallucinating, and I took a razor blade and I cut a man's throat.
Here in the hospital?
Here in the hospital.
Do you think you'd murder me, Joe?
Yes.
That's gruesome, Joe. That's horrible.
Yes, it is.
And you don't blame me if I say I hope you never get out of this place.
I hope I never do either.
No remorse, no hesitation. Just a man who wears evil like a second skin. Listen closely. This one's hard to forget.
We just received word from the pilot that there are no passengers aboard this plane. He had said to us that given the circumstances at home with his marriage, he had no other option. And I must say I wish I was in the cockpit.
That didn't sound like a routine flight update. It sounded like a final confession.
Big tech update. There are now humanoid robots that are being built in the US, and there's actually other robots and humanoid robots being used to build more humanoid robots. And these robots are about 2 years or less from being deployed in people's homes.
It sounds like sci-fi. What happens when they no longer need us? The future isn't knocking. It's already inside.
This is the most dangerous book in the world, and it's not just a legend. In the 8th century, a book was written that would become the most feared text in history. Its name, Al-Azif. The book was said to contain secrets of black magic so ancient, they predated humanity itself. It spoke of a jinn, a powerful otherworldly being, trapped in our world. But Al-Azif wasn't just a collection of myths. It contained detailed instructions on how to communicate with these beings. Many tried to destroy the book, but it always resurfaced, as if it had a will of its own. In the 19th century, a Yemeni poet named Hassan al-Mansur claimed to have found a copy of Al-Azif. He spent months studying its pages, learning its secrets. One night, Hassan performed a ritual described in the book. Witnesses said they heard whispers in a language no one could understand. The next morning, Hassan was gone. All that remained was his journal, filled with frantic scribbles. The last entry read, "I've seen the jinn. It showed me the truth. The book isn't just a guide, it's a prison. And now, I'm trapped too."
Al-Azif is a prison. Then opening it doesn't free you. It locks you in. And if you made it this far, you're braver than most. But remember, what we see isn't always all there is. Something could be watching you right now, just like you watch these clips. Sleep tight, if you can. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Horror Flix for more real shows. And if you've captured something chilling yourself, send it my way. Until next time, stay safe and stay scared.